arrows hitting the guy. That was pretty bad. The other thing is, it looked like the guy was saying that every time he looted, he had to sheath his weapon before he looted. I mean, I could see people saying, "Oh, that's realistic and this and that," but to me, I'm lazy. I don't want to keep doing that. So that's kind of a downer. I mean, that's gimp. I hope they don't do that when they go live. The other thing is, it looked like everything just stacks on top of each other when you pick it up off something. So that would be kind of weird to get used to. I've talked to some people who played UO. I never did play that, and they said it's the same kind of system where you just stack everything on top of each other. So that was kind of new for me to see. And the other thing that was a downer or a negative that I didn't like was the guys that were shooting arrows. It seemed like they were out of arrows all the time, and every time they were out of arrows, they'd have to re-go into their bag and re-put the arrows. I mean, you're getting PK'd or you're getting hit by a mob, and you have to have all these windows open, and you're trying to put your arrows back on your hotbar and all that. I'm hoping they fix that. Aside from that, I only know pretty much what everyone else knows, that you can, that these guilds can build their own cities, that it's supposedly total freedom. So those things are appealing, and those things should be appealing to everyone, because you definitely don't get that. You don't even get that really in Shadowbane. So it seems kind of like to me that it's a Shadowbane, but with WASD. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a 3D, like you can move, like, other games, like
Right.
Warhammer and stuff like that. Yeah, but and that's all I would say about it. I don't really have anything else to say about it other than I did see where the skill is involved in the game, because people were trying to shoot each other with like magic missiles and stuff like that, and it was, they were moving and they were missing, and I don't know, a lot of that looks good to me. I'll go into the real, like when we're going to go into predictions, and I'll give you those, but that's pretty much all I have to say on that. Thor, do you have anything to add on that from what you saw?
Yeah, a couple of things I wanted to mention. First, the graphics, like you were saying, the darkness and everything. I think it looks, from the videos that I've seen, it looks really realistic. Like if you actually went on site at nighttime, that's kind of what it would look like. Like there's no outlines of mobs or whatever, so it's gonna be really hard to see stuff like you mentioned, stealthers and things. I think it's gonna be cool to try and to see if it actually does work like they're saying, where you can just hide in the bush and come out and slit someone's throat or whatever. Because it looks like from other videos I've seen that if you're not within melee range of somebody and they just keep running and running forever, that you're never gonna catch up to them. Like if you were two guys with swords just chasing each other. I seen one video where two guys were just ringing around the rosy for like 5 minutes straight.
Yeah, I saw a video of that, and I saw one guy like hit an end pot. So endurance must have something to do with that. So maybe they'll be able to catch him. You know what I'm saying? Whoever has battle of the end pots.
Or some kind of speed
the other
buff
thing
or something.
that you were saying that made me think of something was no names above your head. So when you're behind a tree, you don't see Six Trump sticking out, which I thought was really cool. I like that. It goes back to that whole stealth thing. Yeah.
But I don't know. I've seen, and I saw one of these other videos. This guy, I think he's killing like some orc mobs or some orc guards at some fortress, and he's an archer. And that video reminded me. I don't know if you ever played it, but it looked like Oblivion. The whole movement system and the archery and everything. It reminded me completely of Oblivion.
Yeah,
and just the first-person way, and just trying to, get the arc of the arrows just right so it hits the guy while you're trying to strafe and everything.
Definitely
I think it's really interesting. It's like an FPS kind of, where you can, with the arrows and the magic. I'm not sure exactly how the magic works, if it's the same as the archery, but if you're going to be able to dodge the arrows like you are in Oblivion, where you can just strafe back and forth and they'll just fly right by your head, I think melee is going to be king. It's just knowing what I know right now. But if you get good at ranged, or if you get good at caster, then it's going to beat anything else. That's what I think. That's what it looks like anyway from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, another thing that they do, Thor, is they'll shoot and they'll aim at your feet and they'll AoE and try to kill you like that, because sometimes it's too hard to hit you because you're moving around. So they try to shoot you at your feet. I saw. So that was kind of a cool little twist on gameplay, instead of just mashing a button and you're gonna hit or not. they can actually dodge, or you can hit the ground next to them.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. So there's that. Now, all right. Next, we're gonna go into our predictions for Darkfall and the state of the game up to 3 months after release. If it actually even does launch on the 25th, uh, my prediction is that, I mean, 100%, whatever server we go to, it'll probably take us 6 weeks to make a dent in the server, and by 2 months we will have hurt the server severely. Now, that as far as HOGG's prediction on whatever server we land on, that server in 2 months is going to be in trouble as far as population. We should really decimate the server within 2 months. Now, as far as just Darkfall and the prediction, my prediction is the game will be good in the beginning, maybe for the first month of subscriptions, but like I said prior, the player base isn't tough enough to withstand a game like Darkfall. I would say that within 3 months, every server, the game will probably have 300 people playing, and it seems like that pretty much is the equation for hardcore PvP games. They never seem to make it. I mean, look at Age of Conan, most beautiful game made, best graphics, best everything, and what happens? Go to Tyranny. Well, it had a little spike because they merged. They've recently merged, but before the merge, right there, what I'm saying, about 300 people. And it always seems to be the same 300 people. So I don't predict that Darkfall is going to be any kind of World of Warcraft or anything like that, or have 1 million subscribers. It'll have about 300 people on there, and that'll be it. And it'll probably do okay because I don't know anything about the company. I know it's Greek or something, which I don't really need to say anything about those gimps, so I don't have much faith in them anyway, you know what I mean? I don't know. It sounds like 3 guys in a garage with $50 making a game, so I don't know. But 300 people, not bad. But we won't be there after that. We won't be there for 3 months. It'll take us 2 months to destroy our server. And then I think that's the fate of the game. And it's just, I think it goes back to that the people are soft, man. And they're not going to be able to handle that. And they're damn sure not going to be able to handle us outside of one city 24 hours straight, killing them constantly and looting them all the time. They're not going to be able to handle it. So in other cities, even with less dedicated, just random people trying to build cities and stuff, it's not going to work. What do you got?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you for the most part. I think like World of Warcraft and all these GIMP PvE-based games have turned all the players softcore. They're not going to be able to handle working for their boots or whatever they got to do. Just go fishing for half an hour to make your fish scale boots, and then you get them ripped off your corpse 5 minutes after you leave town. I don't know, how easy or hard it's going to be to get the loot in that game, but they're gonna melt down over that kind of stuff, and they're not going to stay there long. I think, like you said, after about 4 or 5 months, I'd say 4 or 5 months, it's going to be withered down, just concentrated down to that small, just a small audience that's never going to leave the game. The small hardcore audience, all of those other softcore games that get boiled out. As far as the grief goes, I'm sure usually the timeline's within 2 weeks, but I don't know how big the servers are going to be or how many servers they're going to have, but it doesn't really matter. Within 2 weeks, we're going to make a huge dent on the server, and a majority, I'd say at least 85% of the players on the server are going to know who we are, and they're going to dislike us or hate us at least.
Well, aren't they? The guy, that Greek idiot, is talking big shit, like 10,000 players or something. Come on, man. 10,000 per server. So I don't believe that. Yeah.
Have you heard
10,000
anything
players.
of like how many servers they're going to have?
No. Just when I heard that, I stopped listening. That's such bullshit, man. Look at Warhammer, man. I don't know, what did they spend, like 80, 100 million or something? That's the guesstimate or something out there on the wire, and we couldn't even zone into the final battle with like 100 people or something in there. 10,000? Come on. Even with Nintendo graphics, it's gonna bog down, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say 2,000 like every other game we play. This guy's just talking big shit.